Purpose on Nia is the fifth principle and is read by Angela Bassett.
Way back a long time ago, when the animals could speak and act just like human beings, everything was as fine as it could be. There was plenty of food, plenty of water, and plenty of fresh air for everybody. It wasn't too hot, and it wasn't too cold. The animals didn't hardly have to work at all, and everybody got along fine. Things were perfect. That's why when a wise old king from another land arrived one day and told everybody that a drought was coming, they didn't pay too much attention to him. The fact is, most of them didn't even know what he was talking about. They said, "What's a drought?" And he said,
"A drought is when there's not enough food and water for everybody, so you have to go hungry. You might even starve."
But none of them had ever starved before, so they still didn't really know what he was talking about. So when he told them that he was going to plant a tree that would bear enough fruit for all to eat, even during a drought, they just smiled and nodded their heads. And when he told them that the tree had a name, and the name was
Ouwangelema,
they just smiled and nodded. And when he told them that all they had to do to get the tree to bear fruit was speak its name, they smiled and nodded some more. They weren't really listening, you see. They were just being polite. "Quick, what's the name of the tree?" Ah, you see what I mean? Just like the animals, most of you weren't paying attention. That's how it was. Once the wise old king went back to the other side of the mountain where he came from, everybody went back to their day-to-day business. Nobody was thinking about that tree. Well, just like the wise old king predicted, it wasn't all that long before he left that food and water started getting scarce. It got scorching hot during the day, and at night it got freezing cold. The animals had never gone through anything like this before, and let me tell you, they were just having a fit. They knew somebody had to do something fast, so they all got together and had a meeting at the foot of the wise old king's tree. The elephant, who happened to have the best memory, said, "Don't worry. I remember what the wise old king said. He said all we have to do is speak the tree's name and it will bear fruit for all of us to eat." "Fine, Brother Elephant," said the lion. "Speak its name." The elephant kind of ducked his head, got this sheepish expression on his face, and started looking from side to side. "Well, I can't exactly recall the name," said the elephant. "Somebody must have distracted me, and anyway, you're the king of the forest, Brother Lion. Don't you remember the name?" "I got too many things to do to remember every little detail," said the lion, "but I know somebody has to remember that name." But nobody could remember the name. So they talked and argued and finally agreed that somebody would have to go pay a visit to the wise old king to ask him for the name of the tree. Since they were hungry, they figured the best thing to do would be to send somebody who could get there fast. "I'll go," said the cheetah. "Nobody can outrun me." And quicker than you could snap your fingers, the cheetah took off running. He ran through the forest, dodging trees and bushes. He ran over the river, hopping from stone to stone. He ran through one village and into the next without even a hello or goodbye. He ran straight through the valley and over the mountain, not stopping for even a second, until he was smack dab in the middle of the wise king's court.
"Why, Brother Cheetah, what brings you here?"
asked the king. "If you don't mind, I came to get the name of the tree."
"I don't mind at all. The name of the tree is Ouwangelema."
"Thank you," said the cheetah. He repeated the name to himself a few times to make sure he remembered it. Then he took a deep breath and dashed back where he came from. Now, as you might expect, all that running tired him out something fierce, so by the time he got back to the river, he was hot and thirsty. Since he had gotten what he came for, he figured there wouldn't be any harm stopping to get a drink of water. But while he was drinking, this little gang of monkeys, you know how monkeys are, decided to mess with him. One of them threw a banana peel in his face. Another one yanked his tail. One even had the nerve to talk about his mother. Well, the cheetah hated being teased, so he did everything he could to catch one of those monkeys. But the monkeys were no fools. They just stayed up in their trees and laughed until the cheetah saw it was no use. And anyway, he remembered he had to get back and tell everybody the name of the tree. When he got back, all the animals let out a cheer, happy to see him, and as hungry as they could be. "Quick," said the lion, "what's the word?" The cheetah grinned and said, "The word is Ouwangelema." But nothing happened. The tree didn't bear a single piece of fruit. "Oh, now I remember," said the cheetah. "It's Ouwangelema. No, it's Shakadima." The cheetah named every name he thought it could be, but the tree was just as bare as it was before he left. The lion shook his head in disgust and said, "Brother Cheetah, it's obvious you don't remember the word. We're going to have to send somebody else." "Yes," said the owl, "we clearly need someone who's not only expeditious, but intelligent. May I suggest myself?" "Fine," said the lion, "just be sure you remember the word. I can't stand being hungry too much longer." Off flew the owl, over the forest, over the river, over every village, valley, and mountain until he landed at the wise king's court. "Pardon me, your majesty," said the owl, "but my predecessor somehow forgot the name of your tree you gave us. Would you mind repeating it once more?"
Not at all. Its name is Ouwangelema.
"Thank you," said the owl. "I can assure you I won't forget it." And off he flew, back to where he came from. But while he was flying, he started thinking about whether or not it was really possible for one tree to bear enough fruit for all to eat, and if so, what the fruit would taste like. Maybe not all the animals would like it. Maybe they'd get bored with eating the same fruit every day. Oh, yes, the owl was thinking up a storm. When the owl finally got back to the tree, he didn't even have a chance to land before all the animals started chanting, "Give us the name, give us the name." "What name?" said the owl. "Why, the name of the tree, of course," said the lion. "What do you think we sent you for?" "Oh, that," said the owl. "A gentleman did mention something, but it was gibberish. Nothing I'd ever heard before, not the sort of thing anyone could possibly remember." And so it went. The animals sent a rabbit, but he was in such a hurry he ran into a tree and bumped his head. They sent a zebra, but she kept getting lost. They even sent a hyena, but the monkeys made him laugh so hard he forgot the word in a second. The animals kept getting hungrier and hungrier. Finally, Sister Turtle spoke up. "I'll go," she said. "You," said the lion. "Forget it. You're the slowest animal in the forest. Besides, if an animal as smart as the owl couldn't remember the name, we hardly could expect you to." But the turtle was determined. She went to her father and said, "Father, I'm going to get the name. What should I do to make sure I remember it?" "This is what you must do," said her father. "When you hear the name, think of nothing else. Pretend it's the only word you know and say no other word until you return." That's exactly what she did. Step by step, she walked through the forest, over the river, through every village, through the valley, and over the mountain, until she came to the court of the wise old king. When she asked for the name of the tree, he told her.
Ouwangelema.
"Ouwangelema," she said, and she turned and headed back to where she came from. She walked over the mountain, through the valley, and through every village. When a crow flying overhead saw her, he said, "Where are you going, Miss Turtle?" She said, "Ouwangelema." And when she passed by the river, one of the fish asked her name. She said, "Ouwangelema." When she passed through the forest and the monkey started throwing mud pies at her, she just kept on walking. She kept right on walking until she came directly to the foot of the tree. And do you know what she said? That's right, Ouwangelema. And no sooner did she say it than the tree started giving fruit and all the animals were able to eat their fill. So you see, the turtle wasn't as fast as some of the animals, and she wasn't even as smart as some. But she did have the one thing that really mattered, a strong sense of purpose.
Ouwangelema.